Welcome, welcome. Just getting everybody ready for a night of conversation about healing. That's what I'm here to do is to help you heal from a relationship with a narcissist. My name is Marcia Williams and I am a licensed therapist. I am also a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. And so I want to welcome my TikTok family. I want to welcome my YouTube family. I want to welcome everyone, my Facebook family, Facebook group members, TikTok subscribers only members, where else? LinkedIn members. I'm so happy to be here and I'm glad you're here because tonight I have a topic that you're not going to want to hear. Okay. When do they say that? I'm saying that tonight. This topic is me being real with you. By the way, speaking of being real, I get real with you every day. Shoot, let me make sure y'all can hear me in my microphone. Want to make sure you can hear me okay. This morning and every morning I go live on TikTok. And in my TikTok lives, I call it Marcia's Morning Moments of Truth. Morning Moments of Truth. That is what I share with you every morning. So I want you to know I'm here 24/7, honestly. My practice is called The Passage to Peace, and it is where I share with you everything I have to give through coaching, through groups, through one on ones. And I am a therapist licensed in the state of Georgia, but I am national and international. So if you need help, I'm here. You don't have to do this alone. Okay. Let's jump right in. Let's talk about what it takes to leave a relationship with a narcissist. And it's one word. Easier said than done? Of course it is. Of course it is. I would not be here because I would have divorced my narcissist 30 years ago, which means I wouldn't have gotten married 30 years ago if I had known he was a narcissist, which means I wouldn't have dated him for 5 years before I married him if I had known he was a narcissist, which means I wouldn't have paid him any attention if I had paid any attention to just one red flag. And since there were 29, you would have thought I would have caught one of them, but I did not. And now I know why. It's because I was meant to be here with you. My purpose in life, I'm thankful for it. I'm happy about it. Wasn't happy during, wasn't happy immediately after, but 5 years divorced, I am living my best life. I have found my purpose, my joy, my heart, my strength, my courage, my self love, all of that. And I want to bring you with me. That's my goal. That's my purpose. That's my mission. Okay. I need y'all to write this word down. I need y'all to write this word down. Okay. This word is very, very important. The A word. This is the word that you have to be willing to use in order to leave a narcissist. And of course, it's just the first step. This is also going in line with my peace method. Because of my 35-year experience and marriage to a narcissist, 22 years as a therapist did not make me special in a relationship with a narcissist. No one is special in a relationship with a narcissist. You are just a supply. And if that's what makes you special, then yes, you are special. So I want to make sure everybody can hear me. I want to make sure that I am being heard loud and clear. Can you give me some hearts? Can you give me some hearts? That's what I need to know. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you. Love it. So glad that y'all are here and you're here just in time because I'm about to share with you a very important word. Very important word. Okay, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to see you. So glad you guys are here. I'm on 4 platforms, so I may not see you immediately directly, but please shout out. Let me open my chat. I am going to open the chat so that I can see you guys to make sure I shout out. I want to shout you out. So let me make sure that I can see you. But if I can't see you, I need you to just holler at me. So I'm going to be having my assistant let me know when I have chats for me to respond to. So right now, I want to make sure you know that I am here for you. All right. The word of the day is, my kids hate when I do that. It is so subconscious, subconscious, whatever. The word of the day, abuse. That's the A word. The A word is abuse. If you want to leave a narcissist, you have to be honest with yourself. In order to stay with a narcissist, we cannot be honest with ourselves. We can't. It's not possible. It's the only way to stay in a relationship with a narcissist is to lie to ourselves. What does that look like? False hope. Let's talk about false hope. Maybe they will change. Maybe they will grow up, mature, realize that I am doing all of these things for them. I'm raising our children, I'm working, I'm taking care of the house, I'm paying all the bills. And yes, they give you money or maybe they don't, but they'll realize, they'll start to appreciate me. They'll learn to appreciate me. Come on in. Let's talk about this. Let's get real. Tonight we're getting real. We're talking about, how do you leave a relationship with a narcissist? Okay, that's the question. The answer is as simple as it is the hardest thing to do. So, I did not start using the A word until year 29. Yes, it took me 29 years plus 5. So, that's 34 years before I was able to use the A word. Now, why is that? Because number one, I was conditioned to believe that I'm not being abused. I'm not hitting you. Other people got bruises. Do you have any bruises? No, I didn't have any bruises. So therefore, maybe I am not being abused, is what I would tell myself. Um, Let me see here. I need to make sure that everybody can see me because this is so important. I just need to make sure everybody can see me. Okay. Looks like something happened here. Looks like I'm frozen, guys. Interesting. All right. So, to avoid any disruption at all, yes, I see here that I might not be being seen everywhere. So, let me just make sure. Bear with me, you guys. It says I'm streaming on TikTok, but I might not be. So, let me see what's going on here. It says I'm live now. If you can see me on TikTok, holler. Holler, let me know. I need to know. I see Shanette, I see Abs. I see y'all joined me, and I greatly appreciate it. I want to make sure everybody can see me. Hey, Shanette. Okay, you can see me. All right. So if you can't see me, jump out and come back in because Shanette said hello. Thank you, Shanette. I appreciate you. All right. Back to what it takes to leave a narcissist, the A word. I didn't say it forever, for as long as I could avoid saying it, because once you say it, then you have to hear yourself say it. Thank you, Shanette. I appreciate you. Once you say it, you have to hear yourself say it. I am being abused. That's tough. That is really tough. Hey, Francesca, come on in. The A word is hard to say, it's hard to acknowledge, it's hard to admit, and it's easy to justify, to rationalize, to minimize. It's so easy, y'all. That's the problem. Because you can honestly say, I don't have any bruises if you don't have any bruises. You can honestly say that at least is not as bad as fill in the blank. You can honestly say these things. But just know when you're saying those things, it is part of the manipulation, the conditioning that not only happens from the manipulation that's taking place day in and day out in this relationship, but it's also taking place in our minds. We're doing it to ourselves. So whenever you tell yourself that it's not as bad as it could be, because that's what I told myself, I want you to know that you're lying to yourself because I was lying to myself. Okay. So the truth is the only way out. And still, y'all, it's still just the beginning. Don't get me wrong. It's still just the beginning of a very hard, long journey, but it is the beginning. So many people, and I thank y'all so much. Put some comments in the chat. Hey Janice, come on in. If you have any questions about this, have you struggled to admit to yourself? You don't even have to say it to anybody else. If you struggle to admit to yourself that you are being abused, I want to hear from you. Because when we can be honest with ourselves first, that's what will open the door to the next step. So that leads me to the next problem with why we stay stuck in a relationship with a narcissist is we think we have to have it all planned out. We think we have to have point A to point B to point C to this much money, to this support, to this, that, and the other. And I promise you, you do not have to do that. It doesn't work that way, is what I'm saying. It does not work that way. You cannot plan this thing. What happens is once you acknowledge to yourself, and this is stage 1 of my peace method, you acknowledge to yourself that you are being abused. What else does that sound like? It sounds like you saying, I'm not okay with this. I am hurting. I am dying on the inside. That's because you're being abused. So I need you to say that. I need you to come out to yourself and say that. You have to say it out loud in order for the next door to open. And guess what? That next door, you couldn't dream it. You couldn't make it up in your sleep. You couldn't prepare for it for 20 years. That door is going to appear merely because you decided to tell yourself the truth, which is, I am being abused. Shanette, thank you so much. The realization is painful. It is so painful that we avoid it. We avoid it like the plague because it's painful. This whole journey is painful. So let's talk about the painful realization that we're being abused. Is it more painful than being abused itself? Is it more painful than the shame, the guilt, the anger, the resentment, the embarrassment, the hurt, the loneliness, the everything? Which hurts more? Which hurts more? That's the tricky part. Exactly, Shanette. That's the tricky part. And I'm telling you, denial was my best friend. I say it all the time. Literally my best friend, because I would rather not face this hard, cold truth. Fact. I would rather not face it because it's painful. It's tricky. It's hard. It rocks your world. I mean, I was married for 30 years. I mean, talk about rocking your world. And my sister will tell you that when it came time for me, yeah, when it came time for me to leave because of my rock bottom. We all have a rock bottom. And my rock bottom, your rock bottom is not something that happened for the first time. It just happens that one time that you can't ignore it. You can't minimize it. You can't just look away and just go to sleep and tomorrow will be a new day. None of that works. That is your rock bottom. So, Jeanette, you asked how many years in did I realize it was abuse? Here's what's funny about that. Remember, I talked about the conditioning, how we're conditioned to believe that it's not abuse? I will never forget. I'm going to tell you this quick story. I will never forget because we met in college. The first year we were dating, I jokingly, because we were playing around, play fighting, play wrestling, or whatever. Not that, of course, I would not consider this abuse, but I jokingly said to him, or I jokingly said out loud, we were in the dorm rooms, and I said out loud, "Ow, stop it, you're hurting me," jokingly, right? He jumped up, "Don't be saying that mess out loud. I'm not abusing you." I was like, oh my God, I felt so bad because he wasn't abusing me, but I was joking at the time. But the way he reacted, it was like I exposed something that was true. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I was just playing. I know we were just playing. But looking back, because hindsight is another thing that's 2020. I was like, wow, that was the beginning of conditioning because Lord knows I never said it again. I never said it again. And another example of conditioning was when something happened and he said, we were in an argument, a big argument. And he said, the, I think I was threatening to call the police or something. And he let me know, you don't ever put the police in our business. I'm not abusing you. Don't act like I'm abusing you. Don't ever call the police. Well, check two off of things I was conditioned to see as a carnal sin. So, to answer your question, when did I realize it was abuse? The bigger question is, when did I accept? I think that's what you're asking me too. When did I accept that it was abuse? I accepted it when I felt that I was being put in harmful situations. And what I mean by that, and I think some of you are going to be able to relate to this, I was put in harmful situations for his benefit, harmful to me emotionally, harmful to me physically. No bruises, no bruises. I don't have anything to show for it. And not only that, but I ended up out of wanting to please him and to not be seen as a good wife, I was unfortunately willing to do things that I didn't want to do. And I would feel so unsafe and so angry and hurt and sad and scared and everything else that I was like, this has to be abuse. Now, at that time, kind of like a lot of survivors today, yeah, we see we can say it, this is he's being so abusive or she's being so abusive. We can say it, but do you really mean it? Do you really mean it? And I didn't. I didn't. I still was so good at pushing down, suppressing my feelings because I felt that I had no way out. I had no way out. I had no way of, I didn't see a way out. Let me put it that way. And unfortunately, what I didn't see was that I didn't see that I had a choice. because my kids, because maybe this is what marriages go through, because maybe I'm overreacting. Well, I thought I wanted to please my husband. If this is what it takes to please my husband, what am I complaining about? I'm gaslighting my own self. Your question, did you find yourself defending his behavior in public when you knew he was wrong? Absolutely not. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Defending his behavior in public. Absolutely. So here's how I defended it. I defended it by staying quiet. That's how I defended his behavior. When he put me in situations that embarrassed me or shamed me, I defended his behavior by being quiet because I was also conditioned to not ever embarrass him in public. Boy, if I said something to embarrass him or to make it look like I wasn't a doting, devoted wife, oh gosh. And the thing is and most of us can relate to this, being so um empathetic, because that's what a narcissist is attracted to, is empathy, an empathetic person. So being so empathetic, I was like, well, I don't want to embarrass him. I didn't want to embarrass him. Now, I would raise a fuss when we got home. It didn't matter, but I would raise a fuss when we got home. But in public, no, I knew my place. I was trained, conditioned well to know my place. So whenever we went anywhere, I put on my own mask. I had a mask too. We all have a mask. Home turned into hell. Exactly, Shanette. Home turned into hell. I had my own mask and I knew my role. I knew my place. I knew my lane. I knew my part. I knew what was expected of me. And I wanted to please my husband. I was 22 when I got married. I met him when I was 17 years old. This is what I thought. My parents were married for 30 years. And in my eyes, all I saw was a happy, loving couple. I wanted that. I wanted that. So as soon as my knight in shining armor came and rescued me, I was like, you're the one. So remember, there's that 50-50 rule, the 50-50 rule. What the 50% is about them, 50% about me, was that I wanted the loving marriage that I saw my parents have. I just didn't know how to pick them, obviously. And we also have to look at, and this is why therapy is important, we also have to look at what baggage, childhood trauma, um, if your home upbringing was not safe, was not loving, what baggage are we bringing in to the relationship? That's our part. Bingo. I like you, Shanette. Come to all my lives, please, girl. I love it. Yes, childhood trauma. So we've got to own our part. And that was my part. So, because we have a part, here's the thing, because we have a part in it, it's really hard to blame them. And I hear my clients say this all the time. Well, it was me too. I hit him first. So half the time he didn't even hit me. I'm just so angry at him. I hit him, or I called him names too, or I did this too. Of course, it takes two to be in a dysfunctional relationship, but it takes two. So, yes, own your part, but don't take their part too. Take your 50% and go home. Give them their 50% because they're counting on the fact that we're going to take full responsibility. They're counting on that. So the A word, this is why we have to use the A word. A is for abuse. And when we say it, we can't then turn around and blame ourselves for it. Well, I provoked him or her. Well, I did this too. Well, I said this. You know what reactive abuse is? It's not an excuse, it's a thing. It's not a buzzword, it's a thing. Reactive abuse is when you are in an abusive relationship and you react with the same behavior that resembles abuse. Love begets love, abuse begets abuse. It makes sense. That doesn't mean it's your fault. That doesn't mean you deserve to be treated the way you're being treated. You're reacting to being abused. If you were in a fight and somebody socked you in the mouth, would you go kiss them? No. You're either going to hit back or run, freeze or fight, right? So if somebody gives you a hug, are you going to knock them upside the head? No, you're going to hug them back. Love begets love. Abuse begets abuse. Stop blaming yourself and call it what it is. When you are in pain, emotionally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, whatever you want to call it, financially, when you are hurt in a relationship with someone who professes to love you, you are being abused. You have to use the A word. You have to be willing to say that word. Now, once you say that word, what does it afford you? It affords you the ability to then say the next thing. So, stage one of my PEACE method, PEACE, stage one is the paradigm shift. And believe me when I tell you, it is a paradigm shift to go from this relationship is loving or, I love them to having to say, wait a minute, this is an abusive relationship. Big paradigm shift, but that is stage one. And then you got to sit in that for a minute. You got to sit in all these stages for a minute. You can't just say it and then be like, okay, it's over. No, because literally it's just the beginning. It is literally just the beginning. Okay. So, stage two is establishing boundaries, establishing safety, which is boundaries. It's a whole phase. Yes, Shanette, it's a whole phase. The whole phase. So it's not just a statement. I'm going to go back to that because Shanette, you hit the net. It's a whole phase to just sit in the realization that I am being abused. I don't have the scars to show for it. The scars are internal. No one can see them, feel them, understand them, relate to them, acknowledge them, but me. That's a lonely place to be, y'all. That's a lonely place to be. And it is a very lonely place. It's a lonely process until it doesn't have to be lonely. And trust me, because I have support groups, I have a women's group specifically for women who are still in a relationship with a narcissist. You do not have to do this alone. You do not have to be in this alone. You're not alone. I am working with hundreds of people, soon to be thousands, soon to be millions. And I know this because this is what I was put here to do. So I'm telling you, stage one, Emma, oh my goodness, I just left my narc for the fifth time. This time, not going back because I learned what narcissism is. Emma, do it. Do it, girl. Do it. So here's the thing. Here's what I love what Emma said. Left my narc for the fifth time. That's some honesty right there. That is truth and honesty. Yes, Shanette, give her some love. Absolutely. It doesn't matter how many times you leave because one of those times is going to be the last time. And Emma is saying this time, it's this time. Fifth time's the charm. When I left, I went back. After my fake 29th anniversary, I call it fake because it shouldn't have happened. After my fake 29th anniversary, I moved out, got my own place, but I was being love bombed, hoovered, Thank you, Shanette. You left twice, then got married. See, this is the honesty I'm talking about, y'all. This is beautiful. Y'all are being honest with yourself, and that releases shame and guilt. No SMH behind that, Shanette. No SMH. Mm-mm. Well, look, I'm shaking my head. No. Yes. Yay, you. Okay. Yay, you. Because we got to take the shame out of this. We got to take the shame out of this. Okay. So I need y'all to like this live. Throw up some hearts. Let me know that this is resonating with you, Shanette and Emma, whoever else is here. The more you know, just joined. Show your love, show some hearts, because we need to get this word out. We need to share the word. The word is abuse. The word is narcissism. That's what set Emma free. Learning about narcissistic abuse, that's what sets so many people free. But it's phases of freedom. And being able to acknowledge that you are being abused is a phase, but a huge step forward. The next step is establishing safety, emotional safety, mental safety, psychological safety. What does this mean? This stage is about recognizing the signs of manipulation. Shanette, you're married to the narcissist. I need you to DM me. I need you to DM me because I have a group for you. Emma, 28 years in, you know all the tricks. So it's easier to go no contact. Beautiful. His Facebook posts are pathetic. When you get to that point of seeing the pathetic side of them, you're winning. You are so winning. Oh my goodness. That's a beautiful thing, because that means your rose colored glasses are off. Fifth time is a charm, Emma. Your rose colored glasses are off, and you are saying, I see you. I see you. One of my clients says that a lot. I see you. Hey, A, welcome. Hey, Heather, welcome. Y'all come on in. We are talking about healing from narcissistic abuse. Stage 1 is the paradigm shift. Stage 2 is establishing safety. And after 28 years, and Shanette, how long have you been married? Because we know them like the back of our hands. We know them. We have to know them because we're managing their emotions. We're managing their moods. We're making sure we're avoiding conflict and keeping the peace. We know them so well. That means you also know their manipulation tactics, the silent treatment, when they apologize, but then do the same thing over and over again, when they devalue you or disrespect you and then discard you by making it your fault. We know the tactics. So that's how you establish safety, is by knowing where to set boundaries. Okay, Shanette, 20 years together, married for 1 year. I'm going to give you your 20 years. You deserve every bit of recognition for 20 years. Okay, so your eyes are wide open. Thank you, Emma. The last thing he said to me was I was a distraction to his walk with God. Woo! Woo! Thank you for saying that. The last thing that my ex narcissist said to me is, he said, I don't like the new Marcia. Soon as I started setting boundaries, feeling strong, not always saying yes, acquiescing and giving in, he said, I don't like the new Marcia. I said, I bet you don't, but I do. I love her. And so that's key. I love myself. That's how you acknowledge that you deserve peace, is by loving yourself enough to fight for it. Because, like my mama said to me, he didn't fight for you. That's what my mom said to me. He said, he did not fight for you. And I was like, she's right. She's right. For the first time in her life, I'm just playing, mom. I'm just playing, mama. Mom has been by my side. My mom and my sister, they just been just praying for me, talking about me behind my back, praying for me and all that stuff. Bless their hearts. They had to put up with me being married to a narcissist. And unfortunately, he was lovable, not to my sister to this day, but mom, got sucked in by his charm. It's okay, mom. It's okay. I don't blame you. You weren't the only one. That's what they do. So I left, back to that story. I left, got my own place, and I said to myself, after 2 months or 3 months of being on my own, probably not even that long, I was like, is this my life? Is this my life? Like, I literally, and I didn't say these words, but I literally didn't know what to do with all this peace and quiet and no chaos and no conflict and no one to constantly try to prove my point and yell and scream to be heard. And I didn't know what to do with all of this. And then the love bombing and I'll do anything and let's go to couples counseling, which doesn't work with a narcissist. All these things that made me like, okay, maybe. And then this is what we do. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe I didn't give him a chance to try harder. Maybe I didn't give him a chance to fight for me, as my mom said that he should do. And I opened that door back up. So, Emma, you're not the only one. We opened that door back up. Knowing what I had been through on and off for 30 years, I'm not saying it was all bad. He used to get so mad at me. You act like you were just miserable and abused your whole life or your whole marriage. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I love this percentage that I heard on in TikTok, I think. Even if I was only abused 20% of the time and 80% of our relationship was good, which is not true. I'd say more 50-50, maybe less. Anyway, I digress. The point is, even if it was just 20%, 20% is enough to kill me dead. Kill me dead. Okay? 20%. I don't care if it's 1%. But what if that 1% was a blow, feeling like you were shot in the heart, literally? So, let's not try to qualify it. Let's not try to quantify it. Let's qualify it. Okay? I always give this example. It's like you go to Disney World or someplace great, Jamaica. A friend of mine went to Madrid and just had a great time in Madrid. But on the very last day of this amazing trip, she lost her purse. It had her passport in it, her wallet. It had everything she owned in it. Had the hardest time getting back to the country, had the hardest time proving her identity, and the list went on. Guess how she feels about that trip? It was the worst trip of her life. And literally 1% of the trip was bad. But it was so bad that just the thought of going back to that place makes her sick to her stomach. Now, compare that to 20% of abuse out of 100%. Does it matter? You still got to use the A word. You can't use half a A. You can't say, I was up. You got to laugh. You got to laugh. You got to laugh because it's hard. It's hard. Oh, I love that, Emma. It's the best. I love not being insulted and criticized for everything. Keep a journal. It helps. Yes, Emma, say that. Say that. Keep a journal. We need reminders of why we left. We need reminders of why we want to leave. Because as soon as we start getting stronger, they will start recognizing that, and the manipulation tactics will intensify, they will increase. We've got to be prepared for that. So, writing down what makes you feel good writing down how good it feels. I have clients who only feel joy when their significant other is not home. I remember those days because he was always out in the streets. He was so social. He had to be doing something. And so I got to a point after probably year 15 where I was just tired of always having to be socializing. That's just not me. And so I would just finally say, "No, you go ahead. I'm good." And I tell you, I would be in the bed with my candle lit, with jazz music playing, a glass of wine, and oh my gosh, it felt so good. And then I would doze off. And what triggers me now, if I were to hear it, garage door opening. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I could feel it in my heart. He's home. He's going to come upstairs. He's going to be drunk. He's going to smell like cigars. He's going to turn the light on. He's going to start talking to me as if I'm not asleep. He's going to want sex. He's going to act like I should not be asleep. I should be up waiting to serve him. So, why didn't I remember that when I left, when I was all by myself in my comfy, cozy new place? Why didn't I remember that? Trauma bond. We are trauma bonded. Hey, Judy, I'm glad you're here. We are trauma bonded. That's why. The trauma bond is no joke. It will make you forget. That's why, Emma, when you said keep a journal, it helps. It doesn't help. It helps you survive. It helps you stay gone. It helps you. You need a reminder, because the other thing about manipulation and the conditioning that happens over time, over all these years, is that literally a foggy brain is a thing. I gave up on my memory, and my kids will tell you, my family members, my sister, my mother will tell you. Don't ask me if I remember anything, because I don't. I wouldn't remember. And that's a whole nother topic. I just want you to know that foggy brain is real, and that's why journaling is necessary. Yes, Jeanette, it helps you remember. Judy, 31 years later, still dealing with this. Listen to me. You're not alone. Thank you for saying that, because it means that you are aware. You are aware. So, Judy, since you just joined us, we are talking about the A word. The A word stands for abuse. And so I was married 30 years, dated for 5 years. So I want all my 35-year credit. And it took me until year 29 to use the A word. Because once you use that word, you got to own it. You got to own it. Sugar Kissed. Thank you for high-fiving Shanette. This is so true. Yes. Really, really appreciate y'all. Throw up some hearts, because we are changing lives just by acknowledging truth. This is your moment of truth. Use the A word. Throw up a heart, throw up a thumbs up. We got to get the word out. And my time is up, and I hate that I have to go, because I got 35 years worth of lived experience to talk about. But I'm also a therapist. I'm also a recovery coach. Listen, Judy, Emma, Shanette, and anybody else who is in the sound of my voice. Hey, Darlo, go to my website. I have women's group for women who are still in a marriage to a narcissist. Own it. Judy, you said, but why is it so hard to leave? I feel like I don't want to break up my family. Absolutely. Absolutely. But guess what? My kids are now 24, 27, and 31. Remember, I've been gone, divorced 5 years. My kids have told me over these 5 years, we could have told you something was wrong with dad. My 31-year-old said, at 17, I could have told you he was a narcissist. You could have told me. Well, but he couldn't. He didn't have the words for it. And that's why the words are so important. Yes, Sugar Kiss said I had to reframe my mindset to I'm saving my kids from thinking this is normal. So breaking up the family, Judy, is literally what Sugar Kiss is saying that we need to do to save our kids. Because guess what? They're going to be using the A word too. My kids do. They had to learn how to have boundaries with their father. Shanette said my oldest saw it exactly. And Emma, I know you're saying I wish I had left for good when my kids were younger. They went through so much. You know, hindsight makes us wish we had done this, wish we had done this, wish we had known that. And I was in that stage for a long time until I realized that none of that would have happened until I was ready. Didn't matter how old my kids were. It didn't matter. It wasn't going to happen until I was ready. And so we got to give ourselves grace. So don't be hard on yourself. It's never too late. I didn't leave until my youngest was 16, 17, 18, something like that. So my kids were grown, and it still to this day has a major effect on them. A major effect on them to this day, and they're grown. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter at all. That's unfortunately what we have to accept no matter how long we're there. So Judy, you're saying my kids are all adults and now I'm staying for the grandkids. Right. And it's going to go on and on and on. Judy, in my women's group, I have mothers who are now grandmothers and they're still married because of the grandchildren. You're not alone. Shanette, you have 4 boys. I have 3 boys. High five. Boy moms. All right. So, Erica, good to see you. CEO, good to see you. Emma, thank you so much. Judy, I'm glad you're here. Shanette, high five. Listen, y'all, you do not have to do this alone. Please do not. One of my former clients who is still with me to this day and participating in my programs and helping me help other people, he says, you literally cannot do this without a community. And so I created just that. I created a community. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate you. I created a community, just like TikTok community. I have a subscriber only group in TikTok. I have so many resources that I want to give you guys. I'm here for you. So DM me, and better yet, email me at info at thepassage to peace.com. Thepassage to peace.com. Not the number 2, but TO. Go to my website, thepassagetopeace.com. I have everything from a 30-minute peace pocket, if you just need to hit me up for 30 minutes, to 7 weeks and beyond, and then lifetime, because I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, I got 35 years of content, 35 years of experience, 35 years of knowing what it's like to be in a relationship with a narcissist. Let me help you. But you're already doing the thing. You're journaling. You're saying things out loud. Yes, Judy, it is. My email is info at thepassage to peace. Thepassage to peace.com. That's my website as well, thepassagetopeace.com. I have 30-minute peace pockets that you can purchase whenever you need help with a trigger, when you need help with this particular situation. Hit me up, 30-minute peace pocket. I do one-on-one coaching. I will coach you. I have packages, and I will make sure it suits your budget because it's not about the money for me. I have support groups for women who are still married to a narcissist. You know you're in a relationship with a narcissist. Aw, Erica, it's so good. I'm glad you're here. It's okay that you're late. Definitely catch me on the next live. I am live every day. Every morning I'm live on TikTok. Somewhere between 9:30 a.m. Eastern, I'm live on TikTok every day. But every Monday night, 7 p.m. So follow me, throw up some hearts before you go so we can spread the word, but there will also be a replay. All right, so my information is in the comments, so check the comments. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. You have my heart, you have my support, you have my love because I've been there and I am now living my best life, and I don't want to do that alone either. So I need you to join me in this life, okay? Thank you so much, Shanette. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate y'all so much. And I hope to work with you soon. But either way, I'm here every day. Every day. Every day. All right, y'all. Take care. Be safe. Be well. Good night.